Okay, for the next exercise, we're going to go down onto our mat. We're going to do our glute bridge, which is good for the glutes, the posterior, the hamstrings, the lower back, and also the ankle again. And if you're doing this from the website, it's great to go with the exercise we just did, which is our balancing. We're going from there, working the hips onto the ground, into our glute bridge. So we're going to start lying down. That's how we do the glute bridge. We're not going to do the hip roll version, which is tucking the bum. We're going to just keep the back nice and straight and in that nice and neutral position. Our feet are always hip distance apart. We can check that by making sure that the toes are not turned out and not turned in. And we're keeping those knees dead still. And there's about a 45-degree bend in my knee there, which is perfect. And we always want to make sure that we try to ground those toes. We don't want the toes to lift during the exercise, which they can tend to do. So this one's quite simple. From this nice neutral position, we're just going to fire up into the hamstrings by pushing the heels, toe, big toe, small toe down. So we've got the nice tripod of weight in the feet. What we're going to do, lift those hips straight up to the ceiling. And when we're up there, we should feel the hamstrings and the glutes fire up. Always stay at the top for a few seconds, making sure we've got all the right muscles working. Too often we see people, they don't lift their hips high enough. We're not getting much of a workout here. We're just putting a lot of strain on the lower back. We want to go all the way up, really focus on squeezing those bums, hamstrings, pushing the toes down, and trying to keep a straight line from my shoulders all the way to my knees, and really trying to stretch out the body, trying to grow in length there. And my weight is sort of on my shoulder blades, not on my neck. I can probably still move my neck around, which is good. And we just hang out there for a few seconds, and then gently back down. So once we've done one or two of those to find our height, then we're going to try some lower lifts. So we're going to lift all the way up, pause for a second, gently down, but not all the way down, just one little inch, sort of under the bum, and then return. We'll keep our hands by our sides. I'm just pointing so I can show you my hips, but I want your hands by your sides for the first few. We're going to go through 10 normal ones just like this. After 10, nice and slow ones like this. So number 10, we're going to hold up, bring our hands to the ceiling, keep those palms facing each other, keeping the arms shoulder distance apart, and you're just going to go through another 10. Now we've got no palms to push down on, so it's all hamstrings, all glutes, and just slow lift up, squeeze at the top, and then on number 10, we're just going to hang there for 10 seconds, and then gently come down. So that's a nice little series. So 10 hands down, 10 hands up, and we can do that once or twice. If you wish to do it twice, go for it. They're wonderful for the posterior chain of the body. We're now going to do that one single-legged. So we first go up with both legs down, hands down for support so you can find your balance. Remember the tummy always stays nice and still, and make sure when we're moving, we're not dancing the hips. These must stay nice and level, so make always sure we've got a good stable tummy, braced for impact, so that the hips don't move. We're then going to I'll show you with the right leg to tabletop so you can see what it looks like. We bring that right leg to tabletop so my hips didn't dip. My hip is still fighting to stay up here, so I'm really having to ground that left leg. I'm going to take it past the knee, and I'm just going to hang there. Point the toe, a lot of pressure through this leg, and gently back to tabletop, gently down, find my height first, and then gently down. So even me, you see there towards a few seconds in, that hip started to dip. We want to make sure we fight with the hip to keep it as high and in that straight line as possible. After you've tried one of those, just a little hold, we're going to then repeat with little lower lifts. So we find our height, plant the hands, leg to tabletop nice and slowly, straighten, and then we lower, and we lift, and lower, and we lift. Because we're on one leg, we're just going to do half the amount, we'll just do 10 of them. And on number 10, we're going to hold up, flex the toe, lift the leg towards us, point, and take it away. Flex. So we're almost painting the ceiling with our toes. 10 of those, find your height, leg down, and all the way back down. Now just doing those few, I can feel the posterior chain, ankles, calves, hamstrings, glutes, lower back, and even the tummy work quite a lot. So remember, we want to do that little series. So first, double leg, arms to ceiling, hands back down, single leg, and then on the last one, paint the ceiling. Don't forget we'll be going up and down before painting the ceiling, down and down. Try and do it all as one nice smooth move, very taxing on the legs and especially the back. So if you feel any pain, rather come down. Like we said, rather 5 correct ones and then repeat it 2 or 3 times rather than doing as many as we can. We're putting injury into our lower back. Remember, always slow. Make sure we've got all the muscles working together in the posterior and keeping the hips from moving, and that should be a very effective exercise, especially for those who suffer with a lot of lower back pain. That's a very nice one to strengthen up those lower back muscles and to be able to support us. Also starts to release a little bit. You'll feel if you're doing that, you should be a little bit more pain-free. So yeah, enjoy those.